Going to be looking at our second element of photography. Yesterday you looked at texture, you saw some examples of texture pictures, and then you practiced taking some yourself. Again, these elements that we're going to be looking at are simple elements of art. So if you've taken an art class before, whether that was a drawing class, a sculpting class, or some sort of other art form, all of these elements apply to every form of art. And in this case, our form of art is photography. So we have line, color, value, space, texture, form, and shape. We're going to look at each one of these very closely. We've done texture already. So the second element we're going to focus on is color. So color is just another way to add interest or contrast to your photograph. There are three primary colors: red, blue, and yellow, and every other color is created from a combination of those colors, okay? And then eventually, with combining them in various forms, we can create the color wheel. Understanding the color wheel and paying a close attention to the colors you're photographing together can help you create a great photo. So this is the color wheel. So we have red, blue, and yellow, our primary colors. Everything around it are colors that are created if we mix those three colors. We also have something called complementary colors. So colors directly across from each other in the color wheel complement each other. So here we have red and green are complementary colors. Purple and yellow are complementary colors. And blue and orange are complementary colors. And then we have, mix of those in between. So the following are going to be examples of how we can really use color in photography. Pay close attention to the examples that I give, because you'll have to provide a photograph of each of the examples that I have that I'm going to outline. All right, so this first example is demonstrating photographing with color using the complementary colors. So I mentioned before in the color wheel, again, colors that are across from each other complement. So first we have red and green. So here we have this red fence in the back with some green grass. So these are complementary colors. They really create this big contrast with each other, and they complement each other. Here in this picture, the two colors that really pop are this yellow and this purple. Yellow and purple are complementary colors. Here we have this orange blouse and the green hue in the background. Orange and green are complementary colors. So for one of your photographs, you want to find complementary colors, not staged. They need to be natural, and you need to photograph those two colors together. Again, if you need to know which are complementary colors, look at the color wheel. All right, here's another one. This one is kind of like pop of color. So you want to look for some very plain, neutral backgrounds with something in the front giving it a big pop of color. So here we have this neutral grass in the back, not a very bright color, and then this little boy in a jacket, a bright yellow jacket. Really helps us use color as an element there. Here on the right, we have building, all the same color, very neutral color, and then the bright orange of those workers is that element of color that we want to focus on. So for this one, find something neutral, a neutral background, but that has a big bright color. Any color will do as part of the scene. All right, here we have kind of the opposite. So you have the subject be, a very neutral color. Like here we have this black dress and the background is very colorful. So you want to have the color in the back and the subject be very plain, black, gray, white. So that's one of your elements that or one of the examples you need to have. All right, this one also relies on the background, but instead of having, one be plain and one be bright, you want to have two very bright aspects to the picture. So your background and your subject need to be very vibrant colors, okay? So it's a wall that's a very bright color can be a good canvas, or here the sky was used in the background to create this really lovely color there. You can also use closeness to create these sort of abstract photos of color. So here we have just this pink background, probably a piece of paper with several big stack of orange paper. Zooming in really close to almost color block those two colors creates a really interesting picture. Here up top, it's one single color, green, but we still have slight variations with the shadows and the highlights. So you can focus on one color alone, or down here with the baskets, all these very bright colors, but zooming in really intensifies the saturation of the colors. All right, so for your assignment, you're gonna again upload a Google Doc. The Google Doc needs to include 5 color photos that you take. So one of each of the elements discussed. So we're gonna have complementary, pop of color, colorful background, and abstract color. So one of each of the 5, and that will be the 5 pictures that you take. You'll have 2 examples where you're demonstrating color from the links I have provided, and then you'll upload all 7 pictures on a Google Doc to submit.